or modify. They gave intentions on February 1st to modify the agreement. And as I said to the employee yesterday, you simply can't have your cake and eat it too. Just because you asked to modify because things weren't going your way, you're now saying that you got some legal advice until you could cancel the agreement. As I said a moment ago, that was incorrect because we said in the press conference on Tuesday, and we will continue to say it again today, and as long as we speak about this matter, is that those rights that those workers decided to have as recognition are the only people that can cancel those rights. The employer simply cannot, the lawyers cannot, the Constitution of Bermuda is clear. Number 10 says a person has a right to belong to any organization they so choose, and then the 1965 Act that was amended in 1998, and now they are all one act, all merged to one act, as of I think 1990 or 2000. It says that basically if workers are seeking representation, 35% of them ask for representation, and the only people that can decertify a union is the staff. Under 30P of the same act, the workers ask for decertification. A ballot is taken, and once that ballot is taken, then the process will be able to follow its course. So if the staff vote for decertification, then the union no longer represents them. That has not happened in this case. The workers have remain adamant that they want the BIU to represent them, and they will not stand for for KFC terminating that agreement. So the last point I want to make about the press conference today, we left the Labor Department yesterday, the General Secretary and myself, with the understanding that the two members from that were there from KFC was going to go back to the board, make a recommendation that the collective bargaining agreement be reinstated forthwith, and that their letter that they gave the BIU of September 9th, 2011, that was due to expire, that expired on December 9th, 2011, that they'll try to extend it for 12 months. And we made it crystal clear. The BIU will be no party to that. We're not agreeing that you can terminate the agreement. Our agreement is that you gave us a letter to modify the agreement. We were having talks about the modification process. We had even had mediation about the agreement, and the next process for that agreement should have been arbitration. My understanding, Labor Relations also told him that it appears the sides are so far apart that maybe the next step, not maybe, the next step is the arbitration process. So now we are basically due to go back today at 4 o'clock, because I understand they met with our principals to make that recommendation to them, because the recommendation was coming from the two was at the Labor Department, and we are certainly hopes that in the true spirit and in working in good faith, that they will come back to the table, reinstate the agreement, and let us go ahead and move forward and do what they need to do on behalf of our members who basically said they would continue to want the BIU to represent.
Brother Chris, is the member standing here?
If I said 12 months, I do apologize. I said they'd extend it for 1 month.
So as
to
far
January 2012.
So as far as you're concerned, it looks set to go to arbitration.
As far as we're concerned, it looks set to go to arbitration. That's probably what we're talking about.
Brother Chris, one more. We hear talks in Europe and in America of union busting. Does your membership, has anyone in your membership indicated that this seems to be the first salvo in an attempt to break this union?
Well, if you look at what's happening, I think for the past, couple of years now, we made the statement when we knew that the country, the rest of the world was in a recession. Probably hit us maybe about 6 months or so after it hit the United States, and it could be as much as 12 months. But we basically called for the government, the employers, and the unions to work together in order for us to come through this. Now, we did say at that point in time that it'd be very unfortunate if some employers choose to take advantage of this current economic climate to start to do things to the ununionized staff and unionized staff that basically would turn them around to union busting. And this situation at hand is, I guess you would say, will be a classic example of that, because the employer is saying, well, I want a new agreement. What do you mean you want to? Well, I like the one I've got. I want to tear it up and I want to start over. Well, I want to be clear exactly what we said to that employer. If we allow you to tear up that agreement and start over and negotiate a brand new agreement, what's to stop the next employer from coming to us and making the same request? And once we say yes, How can we then say no? So that to me is going to be a recipe for disaster because, my understanding about how the collective bargaining process works, we've got, or industrial relations also works, we sit down and we negotiate. And if we can't resolve it, we send it to a third party to get it resolved because, here's what I want, here's what the union wants, we can't agree, so we go to a third party. We've done it, hotels for a number of years, we've done it with other CBAs where they can't be resolved, they went to a third party. Sometimes the union got what they want, sometimes we didn't get what we want, and same thing for the employers. Sometimes they got some of the things they wanted out of the arbitration process, sometimes they didn't get some of the things that they wanted. So, it's a sad day in industrial relations in Bermuda if the employers are now going to decide to try to turn the clock back and, sword to union boss in order to get the things that they want to get from the workers of this country. It would be very unfortunate.
What is our Labour government saying in all of this?
Well, it's interesting when you say what the Labour government is saying all this, and what becomes very disturbing is that, governments will come and go. As long as you have, the kind of democracy that we have here in Bermuda, I think it's fairly, we have an election, last one we had in 2007. We're due to have one either in 2000, sometime maybe in 2012, we're going to have one because it says that every 5 years there's a new one. But as long as we could continue to have the Westminster system, where basically we have to have civil servants and those sort of people, because if a minister is there today, another minister comes tomorrow, you rely on the civil service to make sure that the policies, of course, the board order, there's a standard that has been set, and that a certain standard that should be kept. So whilst, the ministers, are responsible for enforcing policies and a number of other things, the laws of the land are supposed to be enforced by the powers that be. And the powers that be is saying that basically we have, they've got a legal opinion about what KFC did, and this is what I found extremely amazing. They got a legal opinion from the Attorney General's chambers, and the legal opinion was about the agency shop.
What does that mean?
And I basically was saying, well, how did you get a legal opinion about the agency shop? Well, if the employer has now decided not to take the dues and send it to the BIU in relation to the agency shop, that's against the law. I had to tell the Labor Department, well, it's quite obvious that, you all need somebody else to work for you, because that's not the correct opinion. Because first of all, agency shop dues don't come to the BIU. And somebody that works in the agency chamber should know that. Agency shop dues goes to a charity of your choice. That's where it goes. The only thing that comes to the union is dues of the union. That means that the check-off in the collective bargaining agreement, where you're supposed to take $12 out of the members' pay, that money is sent to the BIU. If somebody works for that company and decides they don't want to send that money to the BIU, they send it to a charity under the agency shop agreement, and that's what that is. So I'm very concerned that if the employer has broken the law as relates to the agency shop agreement, there must be a broken law as a relationship to dues. You can't have one without the other. They work together. Because without the agency shop dues, agency shop and dues work hand in hand with each other. They don't work with each other, without each other. They work together.